Good afternoon, everybody. I just finished cooking my lunch. Got a few people here. Wasn't too bad. Started at 11:30, finished at 1. Nice and sunny out. Nice and sunny out. Alright, go get some gas. Sounds like there's some ice shaking around.
Google and goes out and looks for pages that contain the content of the sentence that you just clicked on.
So you find all pages that contain that exact sentence or just words within the sentence?
Sure. Basically what it looks for is the predicate of the sentence. So the first line of the poem is, "You are a deftly turned phrase." So if you click on that, what the apostrophe engine does, it goes and looks for the phrase deftly turned phrase and gathers a whole bunch of pages and then strips out all of the sentences that begin "you are" and writes an entirely new poem for you on the spot, in which every sentence is also clickable.
So then that poem refers to more poems which are generated by that poem.
Exactly. I think this is a poem written by the entire internet. It totally lacks the kind of affect.
Yeah, the road still looks terrible. Looks like it could be pretty slippery. Any snowpack like this right here. Temperature's supposed to drop tonight.
In the poetry that we're used to the extent that it's now the
Minus
thing that's
15 or something. It was really cold this
Okay,
morning.
speaking of the world now, come back to the studio with me and there's something I want to play you.
I think they said it felt like in the minus 20s.
Okay, I have something I... Maybe and
could give, or she demand. Name is Debbie. Unhappy, purple hope has made me dote and vainly tell of parts obscene below the waves' crescent, now flecking heaven's screen with stuttered light. Dress up the supper, refit the beds, receive these trifles for the singer's sake. I'll weep and speak to you of food and space and loss, and how freedom spoke addiction abstract as we share the hammered silver bowl and banished fate and pass through widely open gates in triumph.
that was Lisa Robertson.
It's already sticking out. Might as well let her go. Trying to go around her. And the strip mall. Sobeys. Giant Tiger, One Plant, Dollarama, Party City, Home Sense. Pet Value, Staples. Behind the clearing sign is Swiss Chalet. Good old Swiss Chalet. Must have treated the roads too pretty wet. Usually when they treat them, they're wet. traffic. This guy here thought he was gonna pass everybody. Smart pants. Just have patience. Like, fuck. Clearing the sides. I don't see no point in being in this lineup because I'm probably not going as far as these people are. So I don't need to be right in there. And even so, I don't like traveling in big lines of traffic. It's just nonsense. They're always putting on your brakes or speeding up, putting on your something about keeping your car full in the wintertime. I usually do, but this time I got pretty low. It is a very nice day though. Sun's warm. Sun feels warm. Sun does feel like it's getting up. This road's terrible. The shaking is because of this terrible road. I hadn't been on this road for a bit. When I was driving on it the last time, like a few times before, I was like, holy shit, something wrong with my car? Why did it fucking shake in? It's whatever they use for the asphalt. It's not what it used to be. It's not as durable. Sometimes it doesn't even last a year. You got chunks there that are missing. There's a stretch of highway from Blind River to, I think, Spanish. Maybe a little further. When that was done, I was probably like in my 20s. And that pavement still has lasted like it just looks like it needs to be redone now kind of thing. So it goes to show like how crappy the material is that they're using these days. Just remember, you're in control of your own space. You decide how far the person is in front of you. That always sucks, being on the side of the road. You should also know how your vehicle is if you're going to travel. If it's not in that great a shape or you haven't kept it up, don't trust it to get you to where you need to go. 137.7 out here. 179.7 for diesel. That must mean that diesel must have went up a little bit. It's almost 20 cents difference. if we can get a nice view of the lake while I'm gassing up. Probably a pretty nice day for ice fishing. Depending how the ice is, too. With all that rain there we got. Yesterday, though, was pretty cold, so tonight's supposed to be cold. Maybe the weekend will be good for fishing. Oh, brr. It did feel nice out there for a minute. Wow. Then it felt like it got cold again.
We all have that friend too, right, who doesn't make a good first impression. Before you introduce them to other people, you have to warn those other friends. Just so you know, Dave's coming over tonight and just want you to know, he doesn't make a good first impression. Because you're too embarrassed to say that you're friends with an arsehole. Right? Oh, he grows on you. He grows on you. Let me tell you something. I don't want anyone or anything growing on me, okay? What is he, made of mold? It's weird. It's just weird. We do those impressions all the time. And ladies, I don't know. I don't know if you look at the world the same way I do when I meet somebody. You know, is my first impression of someone the same as your first impression of someone? You have women's intuition, right? Well, we have the same thing as a man, I guess. It's called, okay, you're right. Right? That's what it's called. That's how it works. I had a lot of weird first impressions of me because I'm a black man from Newfoundland. Okay? Yeah. I'm not even that black. I'm like khaki. I'm more maple. Just got that. Okay, good. And on top of that, I'm really, really tall. If people meet me in person, they're like, "Oh, you're a lot taller than you are on TV." Yeah. You imagine I walked out here, I was 52 inches. Looking like a cake topper when I walked out here. It's weird when people meet you and they find out that you're from Newfoundland, right? Like people come up to me all the time, they're like, "Oh, you're from Newfoundland, eh? Hello, thunder, I'm a 6'3", 220-pound black man. Do I look like a leprechaun to you, right?" I guess black people in Newfoundland and leprechauns have something in common. I mean, do they really exist? Do they live near rainbows? Nobody knows. And it's weird, too, because I haven't lived in Newfoundland in over 20 years, you know? So when I go back to my hometown, there are certain people who don't know I'm from there. So I was back there a couple years ago. I was at a grocery store. I heard two old ladies behind me. One said to the other one, she goes, "There must be a cruise ship in town." She tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "It must be a lot colder here than what you're used to." She was hammered. There's a lot of stereotypes, too, and first impressions about Newfoundland and Labrador in general. How many people here are from Newfoundland and Labrador? Make some noise if you're from there. How many people have been to Newfoundland and Labrador? Make some noise. All right, so for those of you who have not been to Newfoundland and Labrador, you've probably seen those beautiful Newfoundland and Labrador tourism commercials, right? You see it as just a beautiful cinematic piece where there's a rolling green field, right? The wind is blowing the grass, there's a clothesline, the clothes is blowing on the line, right? There's a beautiful harbor in the background and a majestic iceberg resting in the middle of that harbor. Suddenly a whale jumps up out of the ocean and lands on the iceberg playing the fiddle. And that's one version of Newfoundland and Labrador. But I'd like to see a more realistic version. A commercial where there's just a thick fog. You can't see nothing. And then out of the fog just comes an old woman in a robe. Mittens! Mittens! I can't find that friggin' dog! Newfoundland black person in Newfoundland and Labrador in the 70s and 80s, you know? I was raised by my white grandparents. I never saw a real black person ever in my life until I started doing stand-up comedy, you know? I was working with this other black comedian, you know? He was hip-hop, I was hip waiters, right? So we're doing this show together in Toronto and went to a nightclub after the show. And he said, you gotta use slang to pick up the ladies. So we walked up to this beautiful girl. Right? We walked right up to her, he goes, Shorty, your body's stupid. She goes, oh my God, that is the hottest thing anyone's ever sexed me. So I was like, oh, it works. So I thought, I'm going to use some Newfoundland slang. And I'm going to find a fine lady. So I spotted this gorgeous blonde woman across the bar. I walked right up to her and I said, Mrs., your arse is nuts. And she said, excuse me? Fellas, let me tell you something. If a woman says, excuse me, one of two things has happened, okay? Either she farted or you messed up, right? And she hadn't farted, so then I panicked and I was like, your boobs are foolish, and I took off. Are you having a good time, Winnipeg? Are you enjoying yourself? Sound awesome. I identify as old myself. At that age now, reminiscent about my childhood at a weird place in my life. Ever look back on your childhood and think that you were just raised with more hope than love? Anybody else? Like, I hope you come home. Never had any Amber Alert when I was a kid. No Amber Alert. No one was going looking for you. No one's putting up posters. No one's doing anything, right? My grandparents raised me like I told you. So like my grandfather's like, we lived in the same house for 50 years. If you can't find the house. No one was going to look for you. You know what they're going to look for? Tinfoil to put over your supper. You were raised on hope. It wasn't a lot of love. I was billeted as a kid at tournaments. Anybody else here billeted when you were a kid? Just show up in a strange town, line up in a gymnasium, bunch of adults you've never seen in your life just sizing all the kids up. Yeah, I'll take the dark one. Okay, let's go, let's go. And now I'm in a Trans Am with some dude with a mustache blowing down the highway. The organizers of the tournament are like, yeah, Roger doesn't even have a kid in the tournament. He just loves kids. I bet he does. Raised on hope, I'm telling you. Raised on hope. Remember some of the stuff we did when I was a kid? We used to drive around the back of the pickup truck when I was a kid. Just everyone load the back of the pickup truck. Grandmother's like, I love you, hold on to the sides. Should be good till we go uphill. Just put the tailgate up. That was it. That was safety. Just put the tailgate up. We're good. We're good. Here's the weird part about it. The dog was in the front of the truck. It was weird. Weird. In the winter, I would go sliding on something called a crazy carpet. Anybody else have this in their life? That's what it was called, a crazy carpet. A carpet, a crazy. Basically just a blue sheet of plastic you carried to the top of an icy hill. They're like, Pop, but like, how will I stop? You're gonna hit a solid object at the bottom. What will I use for, like, handles? These two razor-sharp holes. Through your mittens. Right, the same plastic plastic used to make a crazy carpet was the same plastic used to make jumbo Mr. Freezes. Used to slice open the corners of your mouth. Like, it was really good, but it hurt a lot. Now you look like the Joker for the rest of the winter, right? I'll leave you with this. I know you gotta laugh every day, everybody. It's on you. Your own happiness is your responsibility, you know? I really believe that. You don't have to lean on your partner for that. You gotta find happiness for yourself. That's what comedians do. We just look at the world. It can be dark sometimes, and we just kind of tilt it to the side and we find some comedy in it. That's how we get a laugh every single day. This is the latest thing I know of. I'm going to share it with you right now to have some fun with. I just found out that the McDonald's by my house has its own home delivery. Not skip the dishes. It has its own home delivery. And I cannot wait to order that. And when they show up at my house, I'm going to pay them through one window of my house. But I'm going to make them put the food through another window of my house. All right, let's keep this show rolling. You guys ready to go?
That is Trent McClellan, and he'll be on tour in St. John's and Fort McMurray in May. And right around the corner, Trent will be in Toronto at the Glenn Gould Studio on March 11th. Get your tickets now at trentscomedy.com. All right, one very exciting announcement to make. Laugh Out Loud will be doing a live recording in St. John, New Brunswick. We'll be at the Punchlines Comedy Club on Wednesday, April 26th. I'll be your host that evening, and I will be bringing some of the best comedians on the East Coast to the stage, including Vicky Mullally and Brie Parsons from Newfoundland and Labrador, Clifton Cremo from Cape Breton, Dan Hendricken from PEI, Sam Bartle from Halifax, and St. John transplant James Mullinger. Tickets are already moving, if you can believe that. I know, I just mentioned it seconds ago, but there's been some local word of mouth that just works faster than I do. So you'll have to move pretty quickly too. To get your tickets, head to our website, cbc.ca/laughoutloud. All right, let's get back to this show right here. This next comedian loves political comedy and roast battles. They might seem like odd bedfellows, but he's made a living hosting and producing neighborhood roasts all over the world. From the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, talking about the layers of diversity that make up his life, it's Danish Anwar.
All right, Winnipeg, how are you feeling? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. That's better. Amazing. It's a beautiful Winnipeg crowd. You guys are so diverse. It's very multicultural. It's very nice. You know what else is very diverse? Terrorism. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. You know, it's not just a Middle Eastern thing.